Oh, there it is. Come on up, Mr. Selvin Carr.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Hello to our fellow Rattlers. Bring you greetings this morning from the FAMU Rattler Boosters Board of Directors. We have several of our board members here this evening, today, and if you all just wave your hand. We had our booster meeting last night, a very spirited meeting, and a lot of information was shared. Spirited. It was spiritual too, because we always begin when rattlers always start with prayer. Not that spirit, the other kind of spirit. uh, and a couple of announcements that we want to make. One is that the boosters, the board of directors decided that they would participate in a all sports banquet. For we will be honoring all of our athletes. This banquet will take place sometime in toward the end of April, 1st of May. We will honor all of every athlete at the university. Everybody that wears the orange and green that represents us will be honored at this banquet. We also will be passing out awards, and if you will have an opportunity, two ways. One, I'm asking for anyone that want to participate in the planning of this, please let me know. We will begin our meetings starting in January. Most of our meetings, all of our meetings, are basically via Zoom. So to those people that's outside of the metro area of Tallahassee, don't feel shame. We're inviting you to come and participate. As soon as we get the date of the banquet, we will let you know. But I can please let me know as soon as you can that you would like to participate, and you can do that by either texting me at 850-445-9689 or send me an email, which is selvincobb at gmail.com. So we want to ask for your resources. We're going to ask for your time and your talents. So we'll be doing that beginning the first of the year. Uh, as far as our sports teams, our men's basketball team is on a two-game win streak. We've won for the past 2 weeks. So, and that's great news. Our women's team was on the road. Well, we had one game at home last Friday, which we came on the short end of the stick, and so we are looking forward to 2024 as we get into SWAC play. We expect to get some positive results again as far as in line of wins. Uh, the third thing that I want to mention to you is the NAA Rattler Booster Roundup is moving to Atlanta this weekend. For all of you all that will be in Atlanta, the roundup will take place on Friday night beginning at 6:30. You have all of the samples from the Mayo product. We will have 50/50 raffle. We will have door prizes. You can go online and register early, or you can register at the door. Now, you asked me where it's going to be. It's going to be at the Embassy Suites in Buckhead, which is going to be right across the street from the NAA headquarter hotel there in Buckhead. So we ask you to join us on at 6:30 on Friday and add that to your schedule of activities. Again, if you want to become a part of Rattler Boosters, go online, drop us a note. That's at famurattlerboosters.com. We'll be more than happy to have you to come in and become a part of us. Membership, I've been warned that every time I talk, I should do this. We begin with a $100 annual membership, but before the $100 annual membership, there's a $50 membership for students. The $100 membership, there's a $300 Venom level, and the $750 for life membership levels. Again, you can get the information from FAMURattlerBoosters.com. I do have some ticket information for anyone that don't have tickets and still need tickets. There are several people that has approached me about tickets. So if you need a ticket, please give me a call, and you can contact me the same phone number, 850-445-9689. I just been noticed that one of the other things that we talked about in the meeting, and Wilbur, is that correct? That is the rings. Okay. You will be getting more information about how you can participate in getting the rings for our SWAC champions. We talked last night, we talked about, well, we won the SWAC uh, conference, so that's one ring. We also anticipate on winning the that was that wild bison here that's trying to disturb us. He's already started on this pranks. We got notice this morning that our football team had left the field house and that they were on their way to Atlanta, and someone saw them on the side of the road. So we figured that Bill Proctor has gotten started sabotaging already. So maybe he'll tell us what he did when he get up here. But I'm looking forward. We should have had some popcorn to serve here today, uh, because we're gonna have Commissioner Proctor and Commissioner Williams Cox, and this is our prelude to Tiffany and Jay Walker. So, Mr. Jackson, I'll turn it back over to you. Thanks, everybody, and looking for everybody that's going to Atlanta. Safe travels to and from. Everybody to have great holidays. And when you're packing your luggage, leave a little space to bring back a W. Okay?
But we're going to get this show on the road. Commissioner Williams Cox has a very important meeting at 1 o'clock. Proctor doesn't have anything to do, so he may stay longer. The way this is going to work, commissioners, since you're the Howard Bisons, we had them sit on this side with the red, white, and colors. They need, y'all have red, white, and blue. They need three colors to make a name for themselves. We don't need but orange and green. Is that right? No. All right. Commissioner Proctor, you're going to be first, and I hope you don't stay too long, because I want you to turn the mic over at some point in maybe a minute and a half or 2 minutes to Commissioner Cox, and she will do the same for you. No, this is Rattler territory you're in now. Yeah, you didn't come in and try to take over, Commissioner. Well, we will let you go first if you would you like that? Yes, because you're on a time period. Ladies and gentlemen, Commissioner Diane Williams Cox. Lady who played a critical role in the new financing of the football stadium. Commissioner.
Thank you, thank you. Give it honor to God who is the head of my life, and to all rattlers around the world. And to you, my dear colleague, how you doing? So I woke up this morning with the rattlers on my mind. And I heard, and then I saw that there was a little flyer out there with Mr. Reverend Commissioner Proctor. I don't know which hat he brought with him, but he got so many hats. I don't know. So I knew that he was gonna come with words, because preachers like to put words together and pontificate. And the first thing they say to you is that I'm not gonna keep you long. I ain't gonna call the preacher a lie, but that's what they say. I ain't gonna keep you long. And then by 1 o'clock, you still there. So I put some words down, and so y'all listen to my words. Way down in the deep south, Howard Bison opened his mouth. Out came words of no matter or charm, because rattlers were already armed with awards, trophies, and checks from fallen opponents with our foot on their necks. Us rattlers reminded those old bisons of a few facts of how we rattlers can crack backs. Having moved from the bottom to the top, 100 in the nation, joining a conference where we dominate after leaving the one where Howard still marinates. Having met 40 times before, the rattlers have been beating those bisons and shall beat them some more. So come Saturday, y'all come Saturday for the latest showdown and watch how those bisons clown as we make them leave town. Commissioner, preacher, professor, and so much more. We love you, but you must know that when faced with opposition galore and the dark clouds come on the horizon, for these rattlers, the past rattlers, and future rattlers, you know that we rattlers will strike, and strike again. And I want to remind you, Commissioner, that anybody who says anything to harm FAMU, you heard it, y'all know it, everybody know it, may what? So if you're not able to cheer the Bisons on Saturday, we'll know what happened to you. Your tongue will be like, was it Zachariah who couldn't speak till the baby was born? Your tongue will be cleaved to the roof of your mouth. And I want you to know that we do love you. And we do know this is where you work, this is where you get paid. We know that you are Howard made and FAMU paid. We want you to remember that on your ride back home. The semester might be over, but there's another one coming. And you want them checks to keep coming. Let the church say amen. So be careful. Be careful. You see how that snake biting on that bison tail right there? With the head rattler, make that phone call and say, Professor, Commissioner, Preacher, we need you in the president's suite. And when you go down there and he tells you that we're going to send you back to Howard because you cheered just a little too hard for Howard, knowing you had to come home to get paid, just know you did it to yourself. But we know that you're going to be a good sport. You're going to congratulate us. You're going to celebrate with us. And you can go ahead and start now. As you work your way up to Atlanta, you go ahead on and say, I'm so glad I'm from FAMU. Now, y'all know he's a baby rattler. We're going to set that aside. He had the audacity to leave Tallahassee and go to Washington, D.C., to Howard University. I heard Jay Walker say to somebody this morning that Howard was Black America's college. The devil is a lie. And the truth ain't in him. All roads lead to FAMU. And when they lead out of FAMU, we lead with riches because we're all over the world. I went to Canada when I was on internship in Detroit. We were there. So folks sent pictures from folks from South Africa. We're everywhere. You can't get away from us. So Bison, run if you must. Hide if you may. We coming to get you on Saturday. We'll see you there. Safe travels. Wait. We want to bring you up with this. Yes. Yes. Remember, strike and strike and strike again. I'm going to drop this mic.
Father, I stretch my hand to thee. No other help I know. Lord, if you withdraw thyself from thee, however shall I go? I'm going to ask my cousin, Deacon Roland Gaines, if he would come up and line that for me. Dr. Eddie Jackson and friends, this is a hard act to follow. I didn't know that y'all was going to dig a hole and like that for me. And Commissioner Williams Cox is a hard act to follow, and I ain't trying to follow her. But you displayed real sportsmanship to the highest order by affording a bison to come on this week on the eve of our national championship. You're great sports. There's some good news. The first good news is that AD Tiffany Sykes has already checked in with the NCAA and found out that our great quarterback, Jay Skywalker, he has no remaining eligibility, so Jay won't be playing on Saturday. So y'all can go ahead and wipe your brows on that. The second piece of good news is that Bill Proctor, the second greatest quarterback who ever walked the campus of Howard, he has eligibility left, but some pitchers came out of Orlando, and they had Robinson putting an orange coat on me, and the president put out a declaration that Proctor can't put on a blue and white jersey this week after seeing these pictures of him donning an orange, Jay Gaither orange jacket. Dr. Walker, you was there. I think you put one on too that night. So I called my agent, Ben Crump, to try to work it out and get the thing resolved. And Ben said, Bill, I'm going to give you the bottom line what they said. They said they is not going to have a Negro wear a blue and white jersey for Howard, who just put on a Jake Gaither orange jacket last month. So you can't play Saturday. So second piece of good news, Bill Proctor won't be playing this Saturday. You might want to wipe your brows on that right there. Right? But Sister Cox, I want you to know that I've come prepared for this moment because I know you rattlers are sneaky. And they always got something up the sleeve. But I have a request for emergency order. Vaughn, you're not filming today, are you? You are? Okay. This request for emergency order, as District 1 County Commissioner, I'll forward this to Governor Ron DeSantis at the Capitol. And this request for emergency order, Vaughn, can I get some more water, please, or something like that? Diana come up here talking all this trash. Thank you so kindly. You mind opening it for a brother, please? Thank you. That's a baby rattler there. We take care of each other. Thank you, Vaughn. So I just want to just share this order before I really get into. Dear Governor DeSantis, as a resident of my Leon County Commission District, District 1, and as the CEO and Commander-in-Chief of our state, I am compelled to write you. Typically, I write you in the context of disagreement. Not so this time. Today, I ask your wise and considerable judgment be exercised to declare a mental health state of emergency around 4 p.m. Saturday, December 16, 2023, for all of Tallahassee, Florida. Governor, we both have taken oaths to uphold the Constitution and provide for public safety. Governor DeSayton, mental health breakdowns are at epidemic levels. I will not recite my previous efforts to secure your actions to be more aggressive against the spread of COVID, but there will be a meltdown in Tallahassee when FAMU Rattlers are whipped in Atlanta on Saturday, and they will lose the national title in football to Howard University. Signs of the mental health crisis are bubbling all around. For instance, white people in Tallahassee lost their equilibrium, and President 45 said it was your fault that FSU will not be in the football playoffs and play for the national championship. You see, Governor, people losing their minds. Governor, never before has a president of the United States senator, governor, and the entire federal legislative delegation stood together to complain over a football poll. President 45 said it was all your fault. And in the words of your buddy, Congressman Al Lawson, may I simply say, I've never seen anything like this. Mental health is real. Signs are apparent to me that the Black people of Tallahassee are next to lose it and nut up when they lose the championship on the field Saturday. There's a mental health crisis called the championship bug. These are the signs, Governor. 9 days before Christmas, Black citizens have saved money all year to have nice spreads for Christmas and to afford Christmas gifts for their family. But 9 days before Christmas, citizens are selling out and have compromised their children, their spouses, and their grandchildren's money designated for Christmas and have redirected these funds for Atlanta hotels, restaurants, gas, game tickets, parties, etc. Mental health is real, Governor. Millions and millions of dollars of Rattlers' money have been reprogrammed. This is unprecedented behavior by those who otherwise are normal acting citizens. I believe the malady exhibited now is called Rattler mania. Mania is a neurological disorder, Governor, as Surgeon General Dr. Joseph Ladapo. I just simply observed Dr. Ladapo. My point is there will be a toxic wave of mental depression in Tallahassee's Black population when the Rattlers lose, as there is already serious depression in the white FSU fan base. These are difficult moments of public depression, Governor, stress and anxiety. You and I must stick together, Governor, like never before. These fans are crazy. As believers in law and order, we must stand side by side at all times to detest violence, mayhem, and civil disorder, which may erupt in the streets of Tallahassee on Saturday. Governor DeSayton, I've asked the Lord Almighty, but would you also visit Bethel Missionary Baptist Church this Sunday to console the broken and dispirited? Governor, a reminder, Martin Luther King is not the pastor at Bethel. That would be Dr. R.B. Holmes, your good friend, who pals it up with Reverend Al Sharpton. And by the way, Governor DeSayton, I disagree with President 45. I thought it was his fault that the Noles got played. Sincerely, your favorite county commissioner, Bill Proctor. What I did do, Ben Crump told me I could get on the good foot with Howard, and I would need to buy a life insurance policy of $50,000 and pay it out and just designate Howard, and maybe they'll let my grandchildren come. What I did was that I bought a lotto, it was 457 million last week. So I went on and bought 2 tickets just in case, and for $457 million. And after I pay my back taxes, my student loans, and my alimony, and the $50,000 to Howard, I might have a little change left. And offering. But family members and friends, I've come by today to say to you all that the Bison are traveling to Atlanta with real bad intentions. And I know that Dr. Martin Luther King, the drum major for peace and justice, rests in the city of Atlanta. And it hurt me to see that woman try to set the birth home on fire. That's called arson. That kind of violence to Dr. King's legacy is sad. And we just ought to have a moment of silence after the game, remembering that. Now, Howard Bison fans are going to commit a little arson also. You might hear in various venues across Atlanta something like the roof is on fire. We don't need no more. Howard fans might commit arson, but we're going to be partying hardy. But as assault and battery will occur on the field against the Florida A&M University Rattlers, we come in with bad intentions. We're going to beat up and mug. We're going to slam and talk trash. We're going to sack Musa for losses down after down after down. We're going to score points all game long. Ask North Carolina Central what a 50-20 whipping looks and feels like. The pretty boy Floyds of HBCU football this season, FAMU, 11-1, FAMU. And here's Howard, 6-5. But I stopped by to tell y'all something. I stopped by to tell somebody. You can't judge a book by its cover. Don't let that 6-5 story fool you. That 6-5 cover has lulled the Rattler pretty boys into a false sense of security. But I love the David versus Goliath story. Everybody went with the impressive and undefeated giant named FAMU. But when the dust settled, David, Howard, took Goliath's own sword and decapitated the giant. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Read all about it. Diane, where you going? I thought you were going to the bathroom because you got scared.
I'm going to work. I know that's a foreign word.
I ain't no city commissioner's work. All right, I just ain't want you scared. This terrible black on black beatdown in Atlanta will not be prosecuted in Atlanta. The Fulton County prosecutor, as you know, Fannie Willis, is a political science graduate of Howard University, 1993, cum laude, and she's a classmate of Jay Skywalker. So Howard has immunity against prosecution, against all that violence in Dr. King's home city. We respect Dr. King, but it's going to be a little violence at Mercedes-Benz. It's just going to be a hell of a judgment day this Saturday. Vaughn, how do you cook snake anyway? Do you boil him? Do you fry him? Do you parboil him? Do you smother him? Stew him? Mr. Moore, when you sell a snake, what y'all recommend on how to cook him? Do you barbecue him? Yeah, okay. Well, I just want y'all to know that bison, we don't like snake. We just stampede over them things. The only thing like snake is ants. We're going to forget the snake recipe. Huh? We don't eat snake. And I need y'all to know that us Bisons, we don't like mess. And if Tiffany Green don't start none, it won't be none. I'm prepared to get some protection and security in the broadcast booth in case Tiffany Green try to show out on Jay Walker, if the Rattlers make a first down, cross 50-yard line or something important like that. But this is a humanitarian request. Tell Tiffany Green to shut up and stop bragging on FAMU. Howard does not sell. This is a family secret I'm letting you on. The Bison inside family secret, Howard does not sell enough football tickets to fully support its athletics. And nobody at Howard has ever heard of such a thing as a season ticket holder. What's that? We don't know what parking and perks that come with buying that kind of stuff. And even though you all have heard me talk about the 5 outdoor toilets at the fairground in North Florida, in full disclosure, Howard has no bathrooms at all at William Green Stadium. Now, there have been rumors. The rumors is that I have sought to recruit Coach Willie Simmons are true. And I can answer the rumor accusing me of recruiting Willie to come to Howard as athletic director. We need Willie to come and be our athletic director at Howard. And he's going to have a serious pulpit aid board once he gets there. And what I've understood over the last several seasons and just listening to the rumblings and fans in the stand and stuff, it seems that when Coach Willie put on that green pullover tight shirt, that thing can sell some tickets. And we need ticket sales to improve greatly at Howard because our team is only, well, that's all right. Now, speaking about salary renegotiation rumors, the rumor has it that the 220 organization is going to be in charge of restructuring the championship coach's salary. And what I want to say is that if Willie Simmons bought on that little bit of money that y'all going to offer him for an increase, you can get Howard's coach because he only had a 6 and 5. He'll come for anything. So if Willie want to talk trash and walk, let him walk. But on a serious note, there are 3 components that an HBCU team must have in order to win a championship trophy. The first category, our award-winning and well-formed cheerleaders are not only pretty, but they are gorgeous. But we are not ashamed of their report cards. Can y'all say the same thing about y'all girls? I'm talking about the report card part. Okay. Yes, okay. Our girls are smart, our girls are sharp, and our girls are pretty. So go ahead and check the block on the pretty girls. We got that covered. No matter what kind of yaddy-dotty Joe Bullitt is up there talking about, 220 members, I want you to observe this for yourselves. Our lovely majorettes and our soul-stirring, prancing, show-stopping, ooh-la-la dancers are coming to Atlanta, and they ain't going to be upstaged by a band that ain't got a dancer at all. Go ahead and check the block. Check the block. Check the block. Howard University. Whew. Now, I'm not going to, sir? They don't need one. They got the ooh-la-la dancers. I hope the band sit down and give the ooh-la-la dancers the whole show. Finally, I wish to Howard University, tell them there are a number of people at the Leon County Jail with transcripts as well. Long transcripts. I got to go to court today over that transcript. But on a serious note again, with a 6 and 5 record, the rhetorical question is, why should Howard be taken seriously? Nobody knows the name of our coach. Nobody knows the name of our quarterback. And honestly, nobody knows the name of our president who started in August. but he's a great leader because out of all the presidents we've ever had, dating back to 1867, and the great Wyatt Johnson, we've never had a president that took us to the national championship. So whoever our new president is, I say he's doing a mighty good job. I want to explain in advance why there's not going to be that many Bison maybe at kickoff in the stands. And that's because I think I heard someone mention one party, President mentioned one little party up in Buckhead at the Embassy Suite. We got a whole lineup of parties that have been floating for 3 weeks. It's like our fans got Thursday night, they got Friday, they got Friday night, they got the tailgate, the game, and the after party. What I'm trying to say is that our fans won't be in shape to get there for a 12 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. They can't do that. I hope that the SWAC conference will soon put out something for y'all. Now, finally, I'm gonna see you all, and I know you're not gonna speak with me, and you're gonna look the other way, and gonna cover little children's faces and cover their eyes so they won't, see people with Bison shirts on and all. And I understand that we get along well, but I'm gonna let y'all know that when the come down, my position is this: go Bison, go Rattlers. Come Sunday and come Monday morning, Florida A&M University and Howard University represents a lot in the United States and in the world. We're talking about citizens who are Black, educated, healthy, and moneyed. On Saturday, you likely will not find a cluster of African Americans who got education, who's got money, who's got all the things that are going to be a conglomerate of backgrounds as you're going to find in Atlanta, and in particular with Howard and FAMU and Spelman and Morehouse and the AU Center and ITC. That's going to be a hell of an educated environment this week. So come Monday, y'all, next week, Howard University, 1867. Florida A&M University, 1887. I'm not that good at public math, but Vaughn, I think that's 292 years, I think. Check it out. 292 years. What has been wrought from that? Teachers, lawyers, architects, pharmacists, MBAs, and doctors. That's what we got to remember. That's why these schools are so important. Lawyers, actors, congresspeople, actresses, leaders, politicians, and clergy. That's what those institutions represent this Saturday, the long game. CEOs, writers, dentists, journalists, the future. There will be more Black, educated, and wealthy Black folk in Atlanta than any other place in America on Saturday. Our graduates are doing well and holding their own. That is the meaning of Howard and FAMU coming together. We thank God for the Celebration Bowl, but let us thank God for what these schools celebrate every time there's a graduation, as there will be this Friday at FAMU. More pharmacists. FAMU graduates 60% of the nation's pharmacists who are Black come from FAMU. Howard, FAMU, they kick it out in all kinds of backgrounds and stuff. So we thank God who has lifted and gifted us with two great international institutions, Florida A&M University and Howard University. They both are winners. Praise God.
Uh, yes. uh, well, you know, now when I notice preachers, they don't say, I'm about to take my seat. You just say, finally, you know, and they still hang around a long time. Commissioner, I want to thank you for coming out. You know, he called me. He wanted to do this, and Diane wanted to do it. Look forward to it. I, I, Doc, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to have Tiffany Sykes come and grab your phone. Uh, Thank you, Commissioner. We got two more things we want to do, people. We got a nice video from Bond, but first, Bond, that would be the last thing we do. First thing I want to do is give out a couple of little small awards to some folks who help us every day since this is Christmas, and this is our last meeting until January. I'm not sure what day in January yet. I'll let you know, but we're working on something real special, and if it comes true, you will be the first to know. But I want to give out a few $25 gift awards to Piggly Wiggly. And, oh, I got yours right here. Let me see. No. Let's see. Let's start with Leroy Jones. Where's Leroy? Leroy, his name? Okay, I'll use his card. Mayor Harvey here? Mayor Harvey? Come on up, Mayor. Gotta do it. You know, these are the people who set up, come in on Tuesday, set up, stay after you guys leave, and fix the place up.
These cars are restricted to purchasing food only.
No, no liquor. I'm so afraid. Oh, Mary. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, Dilsey Hogan. Where's Dilsey? Dilsey, her is coming. Dilsey's daughter is Miss FAMU High, I believe. Granddaughter. Granddaughter Miss FAMU High. Thank you, Doc. Granddaughter is Miss FAMU High.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Granddaughter?
No, this for you. This for you.
But Gerald wants you to turn the microphone on. She can't hear.
Yeah, I'm in charge of here. Evelyn English. Come on up, Evelyn. I know you don't want to, but come on up. This is my daughter's mother-in-law. She hails from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And when she comes every week, and we have to stop her sometime from working too hard because she's one of those people who when she works hard. Thank you, Evelyn, for all you do for the 220. Okay, and with that $25 gift card, you can buy a new car. uh, let's see who's here. Leroy Jones not here.
You gonna keep that one too?
Where's Tina? Tina. Did she leave? Oh, come up here, Tina. This is a little small token of, and I think Wilma's gonna have another gift for you. You know what? The first move I made when we moved from New Times to here is to ask Wilma to call Tina, because she was our server at New Times for many years, and we brought over here because she was so good That's what she did. And Tina, here's a card for you to get a new car as well. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Al Borders, I know you didn't want to come up here, but come up and get it anyway. Yeah, yeah. Well, he got a new one. Yeah, I was when it was hot. Al had a old Lincoln that didn't have air conditioning, and I couldn't. My ophthalmologist had stopped me from driving, so Jerry would drive me off, and I made the mistake of telling her that Al would drive me home one day, and it was like 190 degrees, and I got in the car and he didn't have any air conditioning. And he asked me, "You want to make a few stops before you get home?" I said, "No." But Al is a distinguished Air Force veteran who flew in Vietnam, dodging. He wasn't a pilot, but he was in the plane dodging bullets. And that's. Oh, she don't want to come up. I knew she didn't want. Well, I'll just keep it then. Come on up here, Wilma. You know we couldn't do nothing without you. I'm up here, Wilma Wiggs. Oh yes. You see what she's wearing, don't you? Yeah. You know, Wilma guards the. She guards the entrance easily, and you try to get by without paying. Like a certain Howard graduate I won't mention tried one day. And he came up to me afterwards and said, "Who's that pit bull on the door?" Thank you, Wilma Wiggs, for all you do for the 220 Quarterback Club. Vaughn, you ready for the video? Yeah, you probably have to move, Commissioner. Yes. Okay, thank you.
This week I had the task of interviewing Coach Simmons because HBCU game day was interviewing both coaches. So I thought about it and I called Cornelius and I said, well, the best place to do it would be in Coach Gaither's house. So the interview we're about to show you, everybody's going to recognize it right off. But this is Coach Simmons' last full interview before the Celebration Bowl. Well, it's always an honor, and humble pleasure to be in the house of one of the pantheons of college football. What Greg Gaither meant to this university, this football program, in the landscape of college football during those times, I don't think will ever be duplicated. And so just to be in the presence of his spirit in the house is truly an extraordinary honor. Well, obviously, the SWAC championship was something that we planned for since the start of the season. We really look forward to competing in the SWAC. We knew we had a team that was capable of winning the SWAC, but to be able to do so on Ken Riley Field at Brand Memorial Stadium was truly a special feeling. It was monumental and historic for our community, for our school, our fan base. Just to be able to host our first SWAC championship here on campus, again, it's a great feeling and hopefully for many to come. I think for us, we talk to the team all the time about just the everyday process it takes to be a champion. And when you focus on the things that you can control, your attitude, your mindset, how you come to work every day, the results take care of themselves. And so we've tried really hard within this program to teach these young men to be process driven, more so than results driven. And so when we approach it that way, we don't look at the opponent that's coming in to say we're going to play up to the competition or down to the competition. We focus on us, and we say the only team that can beat FAMU is FAMU. And so every week, our greatest competition is us. And if we focus on the little things it takes to be successful, we feel the rest takes care of itself. And fortunately for us, these guys have bought into that philosophy, and it's led us to this point. Well, the mindset for the Celebration Bowl is the same mindset that we've taken all season, and that's to prepare ourselves to be our very best when it's time to perform. Obviously, we're sitting in Jake Gaither's house, but another legendary coach in FAMU Lord is Rudy Hubbard. And we had the pleasure of having Coach Hubbard come talk to the team back in 2018. We were honoring his 1978 National Championship team. And the one thing that he said that still resonates with me is we need you guys to do it now. It's not about last week. It's not about next week. We need you to get it done right now. So just that attitude that when it's time to perform, you have to be ready to perform. That's what our guys are focused on. So all of our preparation, our film study, our workouts, everything that we've done has prepared us for when that moment comes to stand in Mercedes-Benz Stadium at 12 o'clock on December 16th, that we're our very best. And that's been the mindset since we knew that we were coming to the game. And we look forward to showing the world what we're made of. Well, the role of a student athlete is to be able to balance all of the things that come along with it. Where a student comes first. And so before we do anything in football, it's about taking care of our business in the classroom. And we've been committed to doing that since the semester started. We've had our academic days. We've had our days off where we really focus on the academic aspect of these young men. And so we understand that the Celebration Bowl comes at the end of the semester. Commencement is literally the day before the Celebration Bowl. And it's a great dilemma or conundrum to be in, to where we're the last team standing, and our young men have to focus in. So you have two historic programs on the field, but you have two more historic programs academically. And both teams have to navigate the academic rigors of being a student at our respective institutions, but also performing at the highest level on the field of competition. And I challenged the young men when we started the season that the conversation in the Celebration Bowl isn't just about how good they are on the field, but how well they perform in the classroom as well. So we look forward again to showing America that these young men are well-rounded, that they can truly be student athletes in every sense of the word. I think the keys to victory in this game in particular are really no different than the keys in most big games. Typically, games like this come down to possession of the ball. And so for us, it's about protecting the ball on offense, making sure that we're not giving it back to them and giving them extra opportunities. So protecting the football, whether it be the running back, the receivers, quarterback, center exchange, so those little things oftentimes make the difference in games of this nature. For us offensively, I think we have to be able to establish the line of scrimmage. And that means running the football effectively, but also protecting Jeremy. And so our offensive line play will be critical in this game. Defensively, I think it's real simple. We have to stop the run. They pride themselves on being able to run the football. They have two really dynamic running backs. They have a veteran quarterback who's played a lot of snaps for them. And so if we can neutralize their run game, I think it gives us a great chance to be successful. And then in special teams, oftentimes, you look at the Celebration Bowl over years past, it's come down to big plays in special teams, big kick returns, punt returns, things of that nature. So we have to win the field position battle. That means playing really solid on special teams. And I think this team has the formula to do all those things. Well, you're right about the fact that Atlanta is full of distractions. I think one thing that benefits this team is the fact that we've been able to play in the Orange Blossom Classic to start the season the last 3 years. They've done a great job of creating a bowl-like environment there, of bringing the teams down early, events outside of the game that the guys have to team luncheons, things of that nature. So we're not unfamiliar with what it will look like to be in Atlanta 4 days before the game starts. And so my experience as a college athlete in bowl games, and as a coach, our other coaches all have experience in bowl games. So just to give the guys kind of a preview of what the week will look like and what to expect. It is a bowl game, so we want them to enjoy themselves. We want them to have fun. So we'll get there Wednesday. Wednesday will be the latest curfew that they'll have. But once the week starts to get closer to game time, we'll get ourselves back into Friday night game mode, so to speak. So I want the guys to enjoy themselves, but we have to understand that we're their own business. The fact that we have a veteran team full of older guys, I think they'll continue to police each other and drive the message home that although we're in Chocolate City, we are there to finish this season the way that we talked about it from the very beginning. And that's winning the Celebration Bowl, uh, being the best team in Black college football, and bringing home our first outright HBCU national championship in over 20 years. I think, for us, it's about the approach to the game, like we talked about. Um, Not speaking on teams past per se, but the SWAC has gone into this game as the favorite the last few years. And so I think the MEAC has something to prove because they were the lower seeded team. They were the team that all the attention was on the SWAC team that was coming to town. This year, I'm not sure if that's the case. I know we have a lot of the attention being the number one team in Black college football, being ranked fifth in the country. But I think the focus of this team is one to where we know what's at stake and we know what has to be done. And so I don't think you'll go in with either team not locked in. I think both teams will be locked into the game. Both teams will understand what needs to be done. And it's going to come down to which team can play the best football. But I don't anticipate the outside distractions that typically um, hinder teams in these type of games. When you talk about bowl games, as you alluded to, there are a lot of distractions. So the team that understands what the main thing is and being able to keep that the main thing gives them the best chance. And this veteran team that we have, I think will continue to drive that message home. Give our young men the motivation they need to bring the championship back this way. I think for us, as far as playing in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, we've had the fortune of playing in two NFL stadiums already this season. The season started down in Miami Gardens, Hard Rock Stadium. That's where the Miami Dolphins play, also the Miami Hurricanes. So they've been in that environment. A few weeks later, we traveled down to Raymond James Stadium, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play. So we've been able to walk into a venue that many of the guys aspire to play in one day. And pregame say, I can see myself being here over the next 10 years with a long NFL career. And so we'll go there Friday to do the walkthrough. We'll let them get all that nostalgic, all the nostalgic feelings out during that time. And then once kickoff starts, it's about what happens between the lines. Regardless of whether it's an NFL stadium, a college stadium, or even a high school stadium, the dimensions are the same: 100 by 53 and 30. And what happens between those white lines will determine the outcome of the game. So let's get all the nostalgic feelings out on Friday when we get to the stadium. But once kickoff starts, let's remember that we've been here before. We've been in NFL stadiums before. We fully anticipated being in this space. And so if you've already mentally prepared yourself for it, hopefully it won't be too big for you in that moment. I think the maturity of this football team will allow us to go in focus. And like we always say, control we can control. All we can control is how we focus and lock in on this football game, not who's in the stands, not who may be on the sideline. This is the Celebration Bowl. So, I mean, you're allowed to look up and see T.I., standing right beside you, or Young Jeezy, or any of the other stars from Atlanta there at the game. So, I'm excited. I'm excited about the opportunity to be in this environment with such star power here in Atlanta. So I'm just reminding the guys that we're going to enjoy it, but at 12 o'clock, let's dial in and let's go to work. And let's finish this season the way that we aspire to. Continue to make Rattler Nation proud. Continue to be the team of destiny. And again, let's bring the Celebration Bowl home to FAMU and to the SWAC, and let's keep it there for a very long time.
So, so Leroy got here. Somebody brought me a, joke up here, and I know this was Leroy's doing. And the joke says, my wife was screaming at me, I'm tired of you. Leave, get out of this house, go. And as the husband was walking out the door, she said, even worse, I hope you die a slow and painful death. So the husband turned around and said, so now you want me to stay? All right, all right, Leroy. uh, I wanna thank everybody for this year because we did a coolant recovery center. We kept the nutrition program going, and we have in the FAMU Foundation for the Women's Sports Campaign $51,475. 51,000, and we did that in about 8 weeks, thanks to all of you guys and the boosters and the Rattler F and the Rattlers watching online who sent money in. And this first time this has ever happened. And I think it's going to lead to gracious and better things. So I just want to ask a couple of people before we go who were really special this year in the effort they made on behalf of FAMU. And one is Gene McKinley, Command Sergeant Major, who contributed heavily financially, but also rebuilt the nutrition center. Even put a sink in there where they can got running water. Sergeant Major, you want to make a few comments? You good? Okay, well, Sergeant Major of the Army. Yeah, I was specialist for the Army. Uh, the Bethel Baptist Church was the other one. They made some significant contributions financially. Reverend Holmes played a significant role in when the team was at a low ebb, brought him back. So let's have a round of applause for Reverend Holmes and Bethel Baptist Church. James, you want to make any comments? No comments? Selvin? We couldn't do what we do without the impact the boosters have on this program and the Rattler F Club. I mean, just about everybody in here you blown all three organizations, right? But I think this is the first year we've come together and we brought the Rattler F Club into this fundraising program for women's sports. And Curtis Taylor, like he always does, is very supportive. He told me, he said, just let me know how much you want and what you want me to do. But the man who's the president of the FAMU Boosters, Mr. Selvin Cobb, I think you ought to say a few words because you're so critical of what we do here.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, I'll be brief. And as always, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you all do for our student athletes. It's a pleasure to lead a group like the Rattler Board of Directors. I know Wilbur Johnson, Colonel Ronald Joe, Sandy Lamar. I saw Sandy in here, she may be gone. Leonard Daniels, and I hope I'm not missing anybody that's on the Leela Walker that's on the board. I thank you all for. Oh, I'm sorry, Johnny Hankerson and Johnny C. Uh, and oh, we can't do anything without our treasurer, Mr. Willie Bill Woods. I want to thank you all for providing and helping me to do all that we do for our student athletes. A guy told me one time, said, every time I see you, you around here begging. He told me, he said, that's the way you got in the Hall of Fame, begging for student athletes. Well, you know what? I'm guilty of that charge. I do this for our young men and women that wear the orange and green. I don't think we can repay them for enough that they do. So I want to thank you, and I couldn't leave without warning you. 24, 25, we're going to ask you to dig a little deeper. So when you start doing the budget for next year, put some aside for our student athletes. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, everybody.
And finally, Commissioner Proctor, you know, if I couldn't get admitted to FAMU, I may have gone to Howard. I think I'm gonna leave on that note. See, Wilbur. Oh, hold it, Wilbur. All right. Yes, Wilbur.
Tommy Mitchell had to leave and go to his office, and he told me to mention that there's a lady that has some club level seats for $400. I think 4 or 5 of them. If anybody still need club level seats or things, you can call him and you see him. But this lady has about 4 or 5 she wants to get rid of.
Okay, people, we'll see you in January. Oh, hold it, Reverend Wilson. Mhm. Oh, now, 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 Commissioner Pratt, we want you to come back now. Okay, if there are no other comments in January, you hear from us. Thank you.